me all along.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we doing video at all other than this thing?
The video has started to record. So
mainly this is a podcast.
But mainly it's a podcast, but it's video in case we want to put the video
so what's the timer for? Just in case.
Because I have to stop every 30 minutes to do a new recording for the podcast. Okay. I can't just do one long stream.
Right, so when you actually start, we're starting.
Okay, yeah. So ready, set. What's up, everybody? It is Wulfgar Wednesdays, even though it's not Wednesday. I don't think we've done one yet on a Wednesday. It's fine.
On Wednesday, maybe.
We aren't even posted on Wednesday, but we'll work on that day. But today we have Choose Your Character. I described this game as, for instance, we were just talking about Mortal Kombat earlier, and we were talking about different characters or whatever. When you get into the game, maybe you have your two favorite characters. Who are you going to pick between your two favorite characters? You play Mario Kart. Who's your favorite driver? It's choose your driver, choose your fighter, that kind of thing, but with different characters. We're going to learn a little bit about James Wulfgar here with me and Seth Knite. Say hi to the podcast.
Hello, podcast, and welcome to Choose Your Character. So I'm having fun, and it hasn't even started yet. Yeah, let's do this.
So we're going to go alternating who starts off, deciding who the character is, but they're going to be able to decide between two different characters, the same two characters.
So
all right.
What's the point of this exactly? Just to get to know us, right?
Yeah, just to get you to know you guys, see your opinion on things, see what maybe you have a strong distaste for certain things, and we don't know about that, or you like something a lot. So the first characters we have today, we're also on Twitch right now, so I will be doing some visuals that you won't be able to see podcast, but it is Mario and Luigi. So we're going to start with James. Who out of Mario and Luigi would you pick?
As your favorite?
I have to pick Mario.
Okay, what are the reasons why you pick Mario?
Because literally Mario is the one that's always like the go-getter trying to actually get stuff done. Luigi seems like he's kind of the follower. Mario, I used to not like Mario as much, but the more games I play, like Smash Brothers and some of the more recent Mario stuff, he's really gotten a lot better character development, and he actually seems to care about the people around, including the princess and that sort of thing.
What were the reasons why you did not like Mario in the past?
Mainly because he was just always saying, "It's me, Mario," over and over. But I mean, Luigi's kind of the same in that respect, so I just like Mario.
Okay, so James picks Mario for his team. We also have a board going behind us that you listeners cannot see, but our Twitch people can see. So we'll put Mario up on the board in a minute here when Seth decides. Between Mario and Luigi, Seth, who would you choose as your favorite?
I'm going to have to go with Luigi, actually.
Okay.
And my reasons are, it's actually going to go back really far. In Mario 2, where you could play as multiple different characters in, Luigi can do a high jump that no other character can do. So he's actually physically stronger than Mario is. Now, Luigi is way more timid and definitely way more hesitant than Mario is, and I would have to, that's, as James pointed out, it's definitely Mario's stronger suit, so he actually cares more. If Luigi does actually care, he just also is just doing a lot of other stuff too. He also goes and actually legitimately goes through a haunted house and faces all of his massive fears versus actual ghosts in Luigi's Mansion.
Isn't that a new game that's coming out too?
It might be.
Isn't it Luigi's Haunted Mansion is a game they just announced at
the third one or
E3?
The second one?
Yeah, that's been a thing that's happened.
Yeah, but the next one that coming out for the Switch, is that what happened?
There might be another one, yeah.
And the funny thing is, the reasons why James said he liked Mario, he kind of leads and Luigi's more of a follower, things like that. And Seth is tall and lanky and just described himself. Basically, it just cracks me up. They have mustaches on right now. They would totally be Mario and Luigi.
We would totally be Mario.
Short, okay? I'm just saying.
Compared to Seth?
But red is a lot better color than green, too. So.
I mean,
it's not like Mario's short compared to Peach, though.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
All right,
so they're putting them up on their boards.
I'd also like to go back and discuss Mario 2 for a second. Yes, Luigi could jump really high, but he always slipped around, and he wasn't like Mario and himself in Mario 2 was like the all-around best character.
Yeah,
could do all the things, and then Peach could float, and
Toad there was
awesome. So
Toad could dig through everything.
Yeah,
but that's just my reason. I always remember Luigi being the one that could do just a lot of different things that not all of them could do, just because you could jump a little bit higher.
Okay, new character.
He's got this good. All right, next character. Seth is gonna go first on this one, and it is Han Solo versus Mal Reynolds.
Okay.
I knew James would like this one.
All right. Okay.
So Seth, who would you pick as your favorite?
All right. So this one's a tough one. Obviously, the characters they very much fit the same archetypes of things. I'm going to go with Han Solo, and the reasons why are, well, first and foremost, I've seen more of the Star Wars than I've seen of like Firefly / Serenity. So first of all, I know the character better. Also, like he's a survivalist, but he also does actually like deep down care about doing the right thing or being the good guy, even though he doesn't really like to admit that he is. So like he actually does have like a good heart, does care, and like he is pretty loyal to like Chewie and stuff like that. So like he actually has like, even though he's like survivalist, he's not necessarily like the best like upstanding guy in the world. He is actually a really good guy.
Wait, you weren't describing Mal Reynolds right now?
That's the problem. That's the huge issue.
They're very alike.
Yeah, they're very alike.
And that's why I wanted you guys to choose between the two. I thought
I'm going to go with Han
There's
Solo.
some major difference.
So Han Solo for Seth.
Yeah.
All right,
Han Solo
James.
for me.
Funny part about that is I'm going with Mal Reynolds.
For the same reasons?
No, not for the same reasons. I'll tell you why. So, like, I love Han Solo.
I think I know the reasons why.
So first of all, I do love Han Solo, but Mal Reynolds legitimately has, like, in my opinion, like some of the best rules of leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one, he's all about the fact that like he needs to take care of his crew. It's about his crew. He also is, believes that like the way that you keep your boat afloat is that you fly it with love. And in general, he's very much to the point where if you tell him you're going to shoot him, you're going to kill him, he'll literally just shoot you first. But he'll shoot you and tell you he's going to shoot you to your face, right? So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Han Solo in lots of different ways, but Mal's probably got like
more leadership qualities that you admire.
I like the leadership qualities, and I definitely like his rules that he has. Mm-hmm. And I like that he was a brown coat in the war, so he tried to do like the right thing through the war like that way, and then it just didn't work out, and then he's kind of leading his crew that way. He also does stuff like convince Jane to switch sides,
He's an inspiring leader.
Yeah, no.
Whereas Han Solo's not, like, he's a leader, but he's not necessarily, like, an outspoken... I don't know. They're both good for very similar reasons.
They both are.
So James right now has chosen two leaders, and Seth has chosen two survivalists. There you go.
Strange.
I had no idea that Luigi was a survivalist.
Luigi's Mansion? Come on.
I guess.
He has to save his brother Mario from being captured in a haunted mansion.
I would argue that Solo's got some leadership qualities.
Yeah, I mean, General Solo.
Yeah.
He literally leads the resistance in 5 and 6.
All right, so James is up first on this next one, and it is The Flash versus Quicksilver. Not the X-Men Quicksilver.
You had to go to the MCU one.
Okay,
that one's...
I have to pick the Flash, because Barry Allen is awesome in lots of different ways.
Why? Explain a few of those
Okay,
ways
so
for
one,
me.
Flash is faster, can actually time travel with how fast he goes. So, he's got way more possibilities of doing stuff. Flash, as far as like DC characters, is one of my favorites. Barry Allen, in general, is like a really good... actually good person, right? And not like Flash, who's kind of an asshole. So not
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver can be, depending on who you talk to, he can even actually be an evil person or bad guy, because he was with Magneto for a while in the comics, obviously, because he's his son.
His son, right?
So,
okay.
I mean, Flash has always just been straight up good. I like the family of Flashes, right? Like all the Allens and all that whole story arc. Flash is definitely my pick.
Okay. I'm going to also go with Flash, and the reasons are, like, I want to make a few points on Quicksilver, but, like, I do really like Flash. He's a good, like James said before, he's a good person, he's a good hero. He's not, like, the most intelligent person. He makes mistakes, but he legitimately tries to be good and, like, actually help people and, like, actually like, solve actual problems.
He also makes a lot of good jokes, too.
He's also a great comic relief. Everybody in, like, the Justice League's like, oh my god, the world's about to end, and Flash just like cracks them all up, makes them smile so that they don't like, so they get through hell a bit better. I will point out a few things. Like in Quicksilver, the MCU Quicksilver wasn't that much of a bad guy. Like he was a bad guy because like he thought he was getting like justice for his people and stuff, which is not a bad guy quality. It's just a not quite enlightened perspective. But like the classic Quicksilver is a giant jerk. Like he's an actual like antagonistic like idiot, and he's super cocky. He's just super annoying because he's faster than everybody, so he thinks he's better than everybody else. But most of the time, he's easily stopped because of his own personal like choices and stuff like that. So he's actually just not. He's not very nice. He's not someone you ever want to see win because of how he treats everybody else. And he's extremely strong. Like James pointed out, that Flash can like do time traveling through like use of devices and stuff like that. Like when he's on like the treadmill, he can actually use it like amplify it so he can go.
I mean, certain versions of Flash is
he just does it.
He can just run fast enough. He time travels.
Yeah.
Or he like, breaks time.
I don't know if they ever did that with Quicksilver. I think they've never done that.
Not that I know of.
Though Quicksilver is extremely deadly in the same ways that like Flash is. Like the same thing, like he can create a sonic boom by just running, and like he can like move so fast that he can actually make things explode. So like he's extremely powerful too in a lot of the same ways. He just doesn't have like the otherworldly time traveling stuff. And like the X-Men movies, Quicksilver's like actually pretty dope, and like as far as like the remakes or reboot goes. But I will have to give it to Flash. Like he's actually a hero. I'm gonna side with the hero instead of like from what my experience with Quicksilver is. He's just a brat. Like the X-Men animated series in like the early 2000s. He's one of the bad guys, and he's just a brat.
Cool.
Yep. Sorry, that was a little lengthy.
No, you're fine. So we have, we have Marvel and DC characters. What would you guys pick if it was just Marvel or DC? And that's why you were deciding between the two.
That one's hard.
That's why I kind of went with it too. Like people similar abilities, but from Marvel and DC.
I like Marvel characters better typically. I mean, I love Cable. He's my favorite character. Wolverine, Professor X, X-Men are my jam. But then also, Hulk and Thor and everybody else and Iron Man are also, they've been a lot cooler over the past 10 years now. Or Avengers have been. So I really, really like Marvel.
Oh, you put yourself right.
DC stuff, Superman is kind of overpowered. I don't really like him too much. I do like him when he's written well, and same with like Batman. Batman's awesome, and like I said, I like the Flash. But just in this one case, you put me with one guy that was always a hero and one guy that was sometimes a villain, and I just picked the hero.
I'll agree with James on that last point. I really like, as far as like DC characters, I don't actually know as a general whole DC very well, whereas I know a general bit about like almost everything Marvel. So technically I know more about Marvel than I do DC, though Batman is one of my favorite characters, period. And like I love the villains that he goes against. I love the stories that's been told with him because he's just human. Like he's not like this, this god or this alien with ultra powers. Like he's just a person who's just trained in whatever. Marvel has some of my favorite characters as well, like with Daredevil and Spider-Man. So like if I would have to go characters wise, I would probably go more Marvel. But like James said,
but between these two,
it's a hero, and then it's versus a villain that's not even necessarily that great. He's just kind of a brat that basically spouses on.
It wasn't hard.
He's a character that I like. Well, because I kind of look like the actor that played him in Age of Ultron. I actually learned a lot about him. And then I found out, I was like, oh, cool, I can cosplay this guy. And then it's like, no, actually, like, outside of the Age of Ultron one, he's kind of like the worst thing ever.
Oh, God. All right, next one. Seth's starting off. It is Jeff Bezos versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, no.
These guys are getting going.
So Facebook versus Amazon.
Oh, God. Why? What is this picture? Is that how you draw a neck? Is that?
Yeah,
know,
Mark
Zuckerberg's neck is-
Zuckerberg has a big neck, and I tried finding the most cartoonish ones. I
Oh
could
my
find of
God, we're gonna get totally taken down for this.
Well,
Okay, so this is the Amazon guy, right? I'm that
Yep.
ignorant.
Yep.
Okay,
Jeff Bezos
so
owns Amazon. Or
so
runs Amazon.
this is really this. Oh God, of course this one goes to me first. This one's actually really difficult because I don't want to pick either of them.
But you have to pick
I
one.
have to pick one. So
he abstains.
Do you like Facebook or Amazon better? You can just do that choice.
Yeah, right.
but I don't like either of them.
That was actually where I was going to go with it.
Okay.
Do you order anything on Amazon ever, Seth?
I have, but it's not like I wouldn't use.
Do you ever go on Facebook, Seth?
I also use Instagram. I like Instagram better. They're both kind of
Yeah,
monopolized.
Instagram's owned by Facebook, so
Yeah,
you could go with
I
that.
liked it before Facebook had it. I'm going to go actually. So this is my reasonings for it. I don't agree, or I'm not going to get into the politics of these two very famous people, but I will have to go with their company over them, like for what they've done,
Sure.
because of how much it affects the world and the benefits of it. Not necessarily the bad parts, but like how well does it actually help?
Right.
And I'm gonna have to go with the baldy here because Amazon actually, like, because they have provided actually like a service that's very streamlined and like helpful logistically, they've been able to help a lot of businesses and people by just being reliable. And they've like, even if the employees are like, once again, bad parts of politics aside, we can get into that a lot, but they've created way more jobs than Facebook has, like legit, like actual
I
like
think
working class.
I think
I'll
you could
have
say
to
they
go with
took
that.
away from a lot of businesses too, though,
Yeah.
because
Like,
they sell
I'm
things
just
that other
saying.
businesses
I'm just
don't sell,
saying.
right?
I'm not going
He's
into
saying
the
good things only.
oh, good
okay.
things
Good
only.
only.
Bad things only.
Yeah.
I would probably go with Zuckerberg because he hasn't done as much as what Amazon has done.
Yeah.
Also, here's the thing about
So,
that. We just know
Bezos
that people,
is-
what we've heard too. So
I
don't
like
know
I
any of
said,
these two
this
people
okay.
personally.
This one's a very hard choice, but I would have to just because of the good parts, not because of the bad parts. This is a conversation I could have with a person for hours. But
Seth
this one
loves
is-
Jeff Bezos, is what
If
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
he's now drawing. on
He's
Jeff
drawing
Bezos.
a Luigi mustache on Jeff Bezos right now.
So I'm
That's
gonna
a
go ahead and
Hitler
give
stash
my
on there.
answer.
All right. I'm gonna vote for Amazon, not for him.
All right,
That's what my
James'
answer
turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go
I'm
with.
not.
with
I'm really
Zuckerberg.
not happy that
Zuck.
Luigi, Han Solo, Flash, and him are all on the
Okay,
same squad.
calm down. She's getting mad.
It's-
You haven't seen my other choices,
yeah,
so good luck.
this went not fun real
You
quick.
just triggered him, man. Okay, it's okay. I'll give you my answer. Okay. Zuckerberg. Mainly because, well, a couple different reasons. One, Facebook's awesome and has changed the world in a great way. I'm not saying that Amazon hasn't either, but
It's a great platform.
I love Facebook, and Facebook's my favorite one. Also, the hearings where where
Oh
Zuckerberg
God,
was
they were
trying
great. They were
to
great.
explain to
The
our
oldest-
congressmen how the internet works was fantastic, and for him to sit there and not be able to not crack up, I gotta give the guy some serious love for that because
Yeah, he had some
that
balls.
was awesome. Also, the fact that his face was he was friends with everybody when he first started Facebook. I always liked that shit. Like, that was fun. And he just, in
Was he,
general...
or was that just Tom on MySpace?
I think it was actually Zuckerberg, too. I might be thinking of Tom.
I think you're thinking of Tom.
I think I am thinking of Tom. But no, Zuckerberg's... I like Facebook a lot, and he did a good job with that. I mean, Amazon's good, too, but I'm going to go with the Zuck.
Yeah. And this is why I chose, like, these two people, because I realize it's also a choice between Amazon and Facebook,
Yeah.
like social media versus like selling things and buying things.
The Prime does like movies and stuff.
So that's where I kind of was going with these choices as well. So you guys actually had to talk about things
This
you
is
enjoy
just-
out of it.
Can,
So,
I,
yeah.
can I get one request before the next
Yeah.
character?
Mm-hmm.
Seth, can you take a couple deep breaths? Calm down off that one. Because
You realize that,
I
like,
feel
when I start,
really did trigger you with that shit.
when you get me talking about something that I actually know what I'm talking about, and I have multiple conflicting feelings about, I start talking fast,
I know.
and that's why it comes off as I'm super pissed. Which,
Okay.
if
so
I'm
as long as you're
super
not
pissed, I usually stop talking.
mad. Fair.
All right, so James is the next one, and we are going with some princesses.
All right.
So we got Princess Peach and Princess Zelda.
Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, this is easy.
Easiest.
Zelda, because she's in Smash Bros. Well, actually, both are in Smash Brothers, but Zelda is also Sheik, 1, which is awesome. Sheik's amazing, and so is Zelda. 2, Zelda has massive cool magic. She's also in a better video game in general, if you talk about like Zelda versus Mario. Zelda all the way for sure. She's got cool costumes. She's able to throw down and fight. She's able to like make good decisions for like ruling her people. She's done a really better job of actually being a princess, actually being royalty than Peach has. Zelda all the way.
Boom. Easy
Proud
as
to have her
that.
up.
Easy
Proud
as
to
that.
put her on my team.
Zelda as well. A lot of the stuff that James mentioned before, she's in several incarnations of her. She's been like a warrior, not only like warrior, ruler. Where I'm not saying Peach is necessarily bad, but she seems more of a plot device than she is like as like a good, well written out character. And like Peach has done some cool stuff, but like
She's pretty baller in some Mario Kart though.
oh no,
Oh yeah.
like she's like no, she's not a bad character, but like as far as like when I look at like okay, well Zelda has achieved a lot. She has done a lot. Like she's done like she's been a plot device like Peach has been in like a lot of games, but she's also done a lot more too. Also, she has a bit more character instead of the I'm just a princess, which I like.
And magic, man.
Yeah, and she's also one. She's also has one of the Triforces, which I mean that's the most powerful things in their world. So,
All right.
go Zelda.
So you start on that one, right?
I started.
So Seth is going to start on this one. We're going between two
I
rich
really
people with a lot of money, but they're also superheroes, and that is Batman and Iron Man.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also Marvel vs. DC, right?
All right.
Mhm,
So this,
exactly.
I hate this that we're like Marvel versus DC, even though I like Marvel more than DC, but I'm siding with DC characters more than Marvel. All right. I love that you picked the stream.
That Batman.
That's the best adorable looking Batman you've ever.
It looks like a little Dorbs Batman,
Yeah.
if anyone's seen the Dorbs characters.
All right. So I'm going to go with Batman, and why?
Poor Tony.
Is because Batman is also Bruce Wayne, and even though it's debatable if he's done enough as that rich billionaire or whatever, but he has done a lot of charities. He's actually improved Gotham, not like all the time as much as he necessarily could, but he also has done a lot of like actual improvements with what he has. Whereas even though Tony Stark has changed the world with a lot of good stuff, he only did that after he really became Iron Man. And before, he actually helped fund a lot of wars and a lot of like pushed that like actual like violence in the world, spending a lot more.
Yeah. Agreed. If you had to pick which Batman, what Batman would you pick? Like from animated ones to actual actors that made them. What's your Batman? Who is your Batman?
I would actually probably go with comics. There's been some really. Actually, I don't know if I go with comics. My favorite Batman iteration was Batman Arkham Asylum, the video game. That was like my favorite. It's actually one of my favorite video games of all time. And you didn't get to see a lot of Bruce Wayne in that one, but as far as just Batman goes, like style-wise, what he was able to do, what he was capable of doing, that was that. But I would go with Batman just because I think he's contributed better to the world.
All right.
Than I think
James, Batman or Iron Man?
All these decisions have been really pretty straightforward for me so far. And then you hit me with this one. Oof, man. I don't know. So like I want to pick Tony Stark because I relate a lot to Tony in a lot of different ways. And he's grown on me a lot in the past. But Batman has always been a favorite. Also, I really, really like the fact that Batman is such a good strategist, right? And the fact that he can think so far ahead of things. He's able to even take on characters like Darkseid. He's always got what he needs on his bat belt.
He's always prepared.
And has the whole cave and everything else. But not that Tony doesn't have the entire tower. They're both amazing. I actually, the thing I don't like about Batman the most is probably the fact that he only seems to give a shit about Gotham or saving the world, right? Like if it's a world-ending thing, yeah, sure, call Batman. If it's a Gotham ending thing, call Batman. But otherwise, now he doesn't even care. And Tony seems like he cares more about like, the entire world all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what they did with the MCU of him going in and like, mentoring Spider-Man and doing that, which is great. But also, Batman's had plenty of awesome mentors in Robin, Red Hood, and Nightwing and everybody. Really, this is I can't even make a good decision here. I do really like a lot of. I think I have to go with Batman, mainly because if you give Batman I've always argued that if you give Batman a heads up that you're going to be fighting, he'll beat anybody, like literally almost probably at this point anyone. I can't think of somebody who's going to win over Batman if you give him, like maybe a month to plan. Even Darth Vader, Darkseid. Doesn't matter, Iron Man, anybody like that. Batman will have outthought and outplayed him at the very end. And I also love my favorite scene. I know I'm being long on this one, but my favorite scene of Batman, in my Batman, if you want to ask.
Who's your Batman?
The DC animated movies Batman.
Yeah, that one's actually probably the best.
The one where and actually I love Justice League, which is also the animated Justice League thing. But my favorite scene of Batman is, and I forget which one it was, but Darkseid is one take over the world, and Batman literally pops out like a "I can blow up the world" button, right? And it was like, and it basically tells Darkseid, "Hey, if you don't leave, I'm blowing up the world, and that's the reason you're here." So Batman and Darkseid knows he's going to do it. Batman literally would rather blow up the world than like let them become enslaved by Darkseid, and also that chases Darkseid off.
Yep.
Right? Because he has to. He's like, well, I'll come back later when Batman's not around or whatever, right? So Batman straight up is willing to pull that really big play of I'm going to blow up everybody on the earth if I need to because it's better than the alternative. So Batman.
Batman is his choice.
Yeah, it's a really hard decision too, though, but it is Batman.
All right, I stopped the recording, guys.
And I would like to point out MCU Iron Man is way better than the non-MCU Iron Man.
Sure, actually, non-MCU Iron Man, the comics version of Iron Man has basically turned. Okay, he's turned to basically MCU Iron Man.
Yeah, but also but classic Iron Man is kind of a bastard.
Also, classic Iron Man's died 8 times, and he's come back in multiple iterations.
Yeah.
So
same with Batman.
Not the same guy. No, Batman tends to still be Bruce Wayne. Well, that's what's weird about all of them. Normally DC's written all in the same thing.
Batman has been Thomas Wayne.
It started.
Okay, so
we're back for this is the second.
We're back. We stopped it shortly because we can only record for a half hour at a time. But we're back. They're discussing still.
Yeah.
Batman has been Thomas Wayne. Batman has been Dick Grayson. Batman has been Azrael.
Or you should say these people have all been Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, Alfred Pennyworth has been Batman for a while.
For sure.
So other people have been Batman, but Iron Man has been several. It's been way more people. You're right. But Tony Stark in the comics and stuff used to be like a giant alcoholic. Used to be actually abrasive and pushed a lot of people away. Not that Batman has literally. Batman's done the same thing. All he does is push people away. But at the same time, he also does it because he doesn't want to affect / hurt more people. Whereas Tony seems to do it more selfishly, and he flip flops way too hard on the whole we're all friends, we're a team, and then he's pushing. He's everyone leave me alone. I want to basically drown in my sorrows.
Yeah.
Also,
so really the big difference between them in my mind is Batman is a strategist and Tony is a scientist / inventor, and it's whichever one you kind of
Batman's also a scientist and an inventor, but
sure, they're both the same.
But out of necessity.
Tony's also a strategist too.
Yeah.
One's super good at strategy. One's
it's the other side more towards. But the one thing you can give Iron Man though is that he did positively affect the world after he became Iron Man, whereas. A lot of his technology he did use to actually help the world out.
Sure, and he also admitted to the world who he was.
In the MCU, yes.
No, even in Marvel.
No, not for a long time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the next one.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a long nerd tangent.
So James is first, I believe.
Yep.
All right, this one's good.
Maybe
it's good.
the last one was really good.
This is the podcast.
So this one is
out.
Ronald McDonald versus the King from Burger King.
Oh my god.
This is pretty freaking easy for me. So one, Ronald McDonald
They're both creepy
is
too.
kind of a bastard and a clown, and nobody likes clowns. Actually, no, clowns are okay, but I don't like Ronald.
Have you ever met the King from Burger King?
But the King from Burger King cracks me up with his commercials, where he's creeping on people.
He's sneaking.
And like, I mean, I'm sorry, that was such a good marketing campaign. The King from Burger King, look at him.
Okay.
Even in this picture, he's doing the double point, like, yay! Like, no, King from Burger King. And if you're talking about like an actual fight, King from Burger King can like.
Oh yeah, whoop his ass. All right, so.
And you can go by like what food you like the best too. That's why I picked these two characters
Okay.
because
and Burger King's better than McDonald's anyway.
Yeah, man.
Boom.
Okay, so
I agree with that.
I'm gonna go with. Does anyone remember Sneak King, the video game from?
Yes. I own that. That was for Xbox
It was
One.
so
Xbox.
ridiculous.
Normal Xbox.
I do like Burger King's food better. Not by much. They're close, but like I do go with Burger King food wise. I will say the Ronald McDonald house does kind of level the playing field a bit, but I will go with the Sneak King as far as over the mascots. Like just mascots wise, the Burger King is better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like Ronald
It's not
McDonald,
as creepy.
You're just kind of strange.
The King makes me laugh, man. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Ronald doesn't make me laugh, even though he's a clown. Isn't that weird? It's strange.
Yeah.
No, I've never thought about that.
Yeah. He has failed at his one job.
He's like a clown that's not funny.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, I've never thought of that.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Hit me.
Seth. Sylvester Stallone
Oh no.
and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh no! Oh no! This is good
My
lord.
90s action heroes.
Also,
The
thanks.
pictures
Look
are-
at that.
Look at
Who
slide.
who isn't inspired by these? Like we have all super realistic, and then we have John.
They look the same.
They look the same. Oh, no, okay. So this one's really tough. So, oof. Ouch.
I already had my decision.
I mean, I know who you're gonna pick.
Who do you think I'm going to pick?
You're gonna pick Stallone.
I'm not going to confirm nor dismiss it because I don't want to influence your pick.
I will have to say, Schwarzenegger. Even with a few of his major flaws, he is always pushed literally everyone without exclusion to become better versions of themselves, to always push themselves to do better, to become better, to be greater versions of themselves. He's always been a positive influence for that. He has done many things in his life. He hasn't done just acting. He's everyone's like, well, he did the bodybuilding thing when he's young. He also was like
a governor?
He was
an awesome governor?
He was a great governor.
Yeah.
He also was already successful through real estate and a bunch of other stuff like that. Like he's an extremely intelligent person. He also comes from kind of humble beginnings as far as when he came over. He didn't have the greatest supportive family either. His dad did not support him at all.
Yep.
And he not only he's not a self-made man, but because he also kind of touched on points of he basically surrounded himself with the right people that kept him up to help himself progress, that kept on encouraging him when he had problems. And then he always pushed himself to become better too. So I'd go with Schwarzenegger. He's definitely more of a, he's not that Sylvester Stallone hasn't been a giant inspiration. He's also a very similar circumstances, not the best life, but
which is why
he's come up. Yeah, it's a hard choice.
Terminator.
But I will go with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, my initial thought was pretty much the same exact thing. Schwarzenegger for sure. He's inspiring to everybody. He was a great governor. I like that he calls out random people when he needs to. He's also got awesome contests like, come blow stuff up with me. Donate to this thing and we'll just hang out and blow stuff up. Like, that's fantastic. Right? If I was him, I would totally be doing the same thing. He also just got drop kicked by that dude.
I was about to bring that up.
70 and was like, it was like a fly hit him. The guy straight up ran up, double drop kicked him, and if you see it from like another angle, he doesn't look like he get jostled at all. He there's one angle that Schwarzenegger goes toward the camera, and it looks like he's kind of moved a little bit. But the other angle, I swear, he just doesn't even move.
Like he drop kicks a brick wall.
He barely moves. And what he said is he didn't even know he got kicked. He was just like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. And that's 70.
Guy's still a brick wall.
He's a brick wall. He drops the super great one-liners. I love that they're both in Expendables, right? So I love that, Expendables is a fun movie. Demolition Man is one of my favorite movies, so that's like Stallone. But also he was in The Predator. He was in Jingle All the Way. He does like literally really, really fun stuff. Arnold's literally a national treasure, like up there with most everybody else.
Also, he also kind of embodies a little bit more, like a bit of the American spirit of you don't have to necessarily be American to get something and do something in America.
I honestly do think that he is, like you said, he wasn't a self-made man. I would say he's definitely.
He's self-made in he's always pushing himself forward, but he also did it smart. He surrounded himself with a good group of people that you can't you can't get everywhere by just your own steam. You have to have good people to be around you in a bad time.
Sure. I mean,
but you don't want Rambo for your zombie apocalypse team at the end?
No, I'll take the guy. I'll take the Predator.
You take Terminator.
I will say real quick though, Sylvester Stallone.
I'll take Commando. He threw blades. He went to the woodshed and literally took saw blades and was throwing them at people.
I will say though,
Commando is great.
It is a close second because Sylvester Stallone is in it greatly. Is also another inspiring person.
Yeah, no,
and
for sure.
he is whether it's been just someone else's writing or whatnot, but he has done some great one-liners. He's done some great, very inspiring things. He's also done a lot of really good movies and entertaining movies too. So it's not like it's one-sided. Arnold's better, but just a quick, he is also really great. So that was a great choice.
All right, I think this one's gonna probably be easy for James. Might even be easy for Seth because I don't think they particularly both care for one of the things, but here we go. So we have Dumbledore and Gandalf.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
so I know James isn't.
I don't think that's.
I don't. Oh, maybe it's not easy.
No, they're both fantastic wizards, and they're both wizards. First of all,
yeah.
I love that Dumbledore runs an entire school and basically is able to be the headmaster and throw down on anybody else and literally just keep everybody safe and protective. And his leadership is amazing. And he's crazy powerful, right? To the point of he's just hanging out with phoenixes. He just has a pet phoenix. Chill, right?
Yeah.
Gandalf, however, is the original OG, right? He's sitting there smoking a pipe and hanging out with hobbits. And he uses the sword, okay? So I love the fact he uses the sword. He's got those giant eagles that come in. And the other thing I don't like about Gandalf, actually, is the simple fact that I don't feel like we were able to see what he was truly able to do a lot of times, right? He didn't throw down in these giant wizard battles. And same with Dumbledore, really. He did a little bit, but it's so tough.
But
it's so tough as far as the two series go, Lord of the Rings versus.
But Harry Potter. Voldemort he's the only one that actually scared Voldemort too, so they kind of showed how powerful he is too in that aspect.
Dumbledore, right? Dumbledore's straight up. He's making jokes, right? Taking care of Harry, taking care of everybody. He also didn't completely get rid of Hagrid, right? And when Hagrid messed up, he was like, "Yo, I got a good solution for you. Why don't you just be the Beastmaster guy?" No, I got to give it to Dumbledore. I love Gandalf. Gandalf's awesome. But Dumbledore is my definite pick.
That was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Very big surprise. But Seth is going with good old Gandalf.
I'm going with Gandalf. I would have to say the biggest lean why is because growing up I never read or watched the movies of Harry Potter, so it doesn't stick with me as oh, this was an impressive thing. They all have giant achievements and accolades, but Gandalf, as far as like if you want to go like world wise, the wizards themselves were like actually incredible otherworldly beings themselves. Like they weren't just anyone could become a wizard. Like they were actually like they were almost they may have even actually been an entire race of other things. I'm not like entirely sure.
Talking about Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah,
like they were like angels and shit.
They were very rare, and they weren't like somebody that could be learned.
Yeah. So like as far as like them themselves are actually extremely powerful. Now things I don't like about Gandalf is he has horrible communication skills.
Yes.
Holy shit! You could have solved half of this if you literally just were able to talk to people. Now that being said, he also is instrumental in the actual achievement of saving the world. Mm-hmm. Because he actually saw something that no one else saw in like the Hobbits. Mm-hmm. Like he actually saw an actual like glimpse of hope beyond everything that had happened before. But I'll go with Gandalf because well, I know more of him. I like his character. I like his portrayal in the films. I also like that he was powerful, but he didn't just like overstep people. Like he actually inspired other people to rise up too, not just be like, oh, I'm super powerful, I'm just going to take care of this. He was one person, and he knew he was one person, and he knew that other people had to move forward. He also knew that if he had the ring, he could possibly become evil and be just as bad, and not worse.
He was going to be.
Yeah,
like,
he knew that So he not only knew how powerful it was and how important it was to work with others, but he also knew his own limitations and knew his own downfalls, and he knew that he couldn't just shoulder it all himself.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Gandalf on that one.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would also like to add that Dumbledore definitely inspired everybody too.
No.
Yeah, they were both good leaders.
You mean he was the leader of an entire school, which was literally helping kids learn how to control and use magic to the betterment of themselves and the world.
Yeah.
So definitely an inspiring leader. But I'm going to go with Gandalf.
All right, you're up, Seth. It is Captain Marvel versus Superwoman.
Okay, I'm going to go with Captain Marvel. That was actually kind of easy. I actually don't like...
Captain Marvel versus Supergirl?
Supergirl, that's what I meant.
Supergirl is...
Did I say Superwoman?
Cool, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of good stories. I just have never read them, personally, which is kind of unfortunate because I'm sure there's some really good stories. I don't like the Super Family. They were created kind of as a joke to sell more comics, so the origin kind of always bothers me. Captain Marvel is actually like a really good character, has done a lot of really cool things in the Marvel Universe. Is that I don't know as much as I would like to know about her, but like it's a character that like even before like the movies and stuff, like I actually like she was always a cool character whenever she appeared in something. She was actually super dope. And like the first thing I knew of her was from X-Men when Rogue stored powers.
Was her?
Yeah,
she
was basically so like Rogue's powers in the X-Men series are always badass, and if that's essentially her powers, then yeah, she's just awesome.
Yep.
And she's not overpowered to the point where it's like, oh, she's just a Kryptonian, like cool. She's just innately powerful. Like she's actually has to be clever with her powers to get stuff done.
Is that your first Marvel character, Seth?
You literally put my favorites against like the worst people.
First Marvel.
It would be my first Marvel
if he picks it as his first Marvel character too. Yep. Oh, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, I'll talk on this for a minute. One, they're both awesome characters. They really are. And Supergirl has some really good arcs. I don't like that they made Supergirl just kind of come out of nowhere after they're like, oh, Krypton blew up, and then, oh, never mind. Yeah, there's this extra person. I mean, they were able to write that in. Captain Marvel, the movie was pretty good, but I really do like Captain Marvel. Like, if you ever watch Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the comic, the cartoon.
Yeah, that's really good.
Captain Marvel's awesome in that. Captain Marvel's just been a really great Avenger. Again, it's Marvel versus DC, and I would definitely say Captain Marvel. For me, also she's grounded as a human. She's got cool gear like from the Kree. And she also like goes out. And the other thing I will say is Supergirl, when she's here, she seems like she just cares about like, okay, cool, I gotta save Earth, right? Now that she's here. When Captain Marvel's here, she's worried about Earth, but then she's also worried about like a ton of other things too. And I mean, Supergirl could do that, and it probably has at
But,
some
like,
times.
Like in the movie, like Captain
Yeah.
Marvel's like, oh, the universe needs me because
It's
Captain
way more
Marvel-
important than this
Captain
tiny
Marvel does
planet.
the same thing I like about Green Lantern, which is
the world, like the entire world.
Yeah, everything.
So
Yep.
there you go, easy enough. All right, I'm interested to see what James picks for this next one because we're going Pokemon.
Ooh.
I know.
James, I don't
I
know
already
anything
Seth,
about.
Seth knows a lot about Pokemon, but
For
James
400,
doesn't.
Alex.
Maybe.
So Charmander versus Squirtle.
Oh, shit.
So they're pretty
okay.
basic ones, so you,
You
should
should have
probably
had
know a little
You
bit.
should have had a 3-way choice with Bulbasaur.
I should have had all three, but
You know what? I love
so I
both
go
these
fire versus water.
in a certain kind of way. I don't know much about them, but I think that they're both very cool. But I'm going to go with Squirtle. You know why?
Because it's
Squirtle Squad. That's
Squirtle
why.
Squad.
The Squirtle
Good answer.
Squad is cool
Great
shit.
answer.
Right? I mean, here's the thing. Charmander grows up and becomes like an amazing dragon, right? So I like that a lot about him. They're both super
Not technically
adorable.
dragon, but yes.
Or whatever, right?
Big Seth.
To people who
Big
don't know
Seth.
anything about Pokemon, like myself, he looks
Not
like a dragon.
not considered a dragon,
He
but
smells like
we
a
all
dragon,
call him
yeah.
a dragon, right?
And then Squirtle grows up to be the big cannon guy, right? Or no?
Blastoise, yes.
Blastoise? Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So I love Blastoise as
Okay,
well
they're
because
both
he uses
awesome.
gun, and also like water versus fire.
Yeah, water's
I'm
gonna put
kind
out
of a big
fire, I
fan of
guess.
water because water you can do more with, right? Like so if you drench your enemy in water, you don't have to kill him, but you can. Well, if you drench your enemy in fire,
They're
you
kinda
don't get a
dead.
choice. You don't have a choice, right? So like there's some ice versus fire. Ice is just more versatile. You can like imprison somebody in ice. You can't imprison somebody in fire, right? So I like Squirtle in all those ways. Squirtle Squad, really.
Woot woot.
I'm gonna also go with Squirtle because it's a water versus fire. I can't like ignore that part. Also, Squirtle, like if it was Bulbasaur, I'd automatically go with Bulbasaur because that's me. Growing up, like my brothers all like my oldest brother would always go Charmander, my oldest brother Jake, and then my older brother Jeb would always go Squirtle. So they were like red and blue. So they would always do that. So I was always the Bulbasaur one because they always picked theirs. Blastoise I feel like is way better later on evolution than Charizard. Like in a one-on-one, like way harder, way hard. There's no way Charizard's beating Blastoise. Not in a million years. I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
Like there is not like
Quinn seems to
Blastoise.
disagree though. but he's
Blastoise loses power, but also gains way more defense than Charizard does, and like will just drench him every single time.
Yeah,
if that's a one-on-one fight, he always wins.
But Charizard literally could bite his head off, right? Like
He's a turtle. It goes in.
you're
not getting
bite
it.
like through the shell. Like I'm a
All right,
dragon.
I'm saying if it was in the
Okay.
Pokemon games, not the anime. The anime goes weird with some of its rules that don't work. But I'm gonna say Squirtle. I'm just gonna say Squirtle.
Dude, I like how they use Squirtle in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you've not seen Detective Pikachu
Yeah,
yet, but Squirtle is used in like a lot of useful ways. Charmander is too. Like the
Yeah.
guy cooking it on his walk or whatever,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
his tail is just eating it.
Squirtle's
It
a
was awesome.
firefighter.
Yeah, they're firefighters. They also were like, I think he like spit up stuff and they would like be mopping the
Yeah.
floors and stuff or whatever. Yeah.
They're
It
very
was fun.
water Pokemon. Very utilitarian.
It was definitely a fun idea. Okay, and we're on to our last two. And who started that one, James? So Seth is going to do this one.
All right.
And it's good versus evil. It is Darth Vader versus Yoda.
Okay. All right. Now, this one's interesting. So, I'm going to go with Darth Vader.
Dun, dun,
And the reason why is, yes, Yoda was, like, supposedly one of the wisest Jedi or whatever, like, the best teacher, whatnot. He was, like, we all love the little green dude, but, like, as far as, like, what he, like, he wasn't able to be Darth Sidious in, like, a one-on-one. Like, he just, like, for some reason, like, he just wasn't able to win that fight, even though it seemed very easy, to be honest. If, like, this...
He was old.
Sidious is crazy
Sidious
powerful.
is crazy powerful, but so is Yoda. Yoda was supposedly, like, one of the strongest, like, Jedi of all
They
time.
both went 1-on-1.
And
there was a draw.
it was a it was kind of a draw, but like Yoda had to like massively like retreat. Like I honestly wasn't impressed by the fight. That may have been just the episode 3's writing not being that great. Cool, whatever.
Sure.
But like Vader, it was Anakin Skywalker. To first and foremost, he literally led like as a general in the Clone Wars. He was like this massive like force for good when he like before he turned to the dark side. He was a massive force for good. He is technically the chosen one, so he's like one of the most like pivotal like characters in the world.
Yeah.
He's in every Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
He, good and bad, has done probably the most out of any character in the entire franchise. When he was Darth Vader, he was the most powerful and most feared like entity in the world. And I mean, honestly, if anyone's watched Rogue One, when he shows up for like his 2 seconds that he does, like that's like one of the most like goosebumps. Yeah, one of the most goosebumps raising like quick fight scenes I've ever seen in the entire series. So like I'm going to go with Vader. Yoda, yes, he's like incredibly powerful. Has some really cool spots, but like honestly, if we're gonna go with like more impressive characters, Vader was more impressive.
And Vader is a self-made man. came from the streets.
I mean, he honestly, like,
you don't know where Yoda came from, though.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
The problem with Yoda is just that. Like, there's just 2 of them. They never went into.
Okay, can I make my pick now?
All right, yeah,
absolutely.
But Yoda can be a backpack while you run.
Yoda. Yes. No. Yoda's definitely my pick. I like Vader, but here's the thing: person that gives the best advice ever, Yoda. Person who led the Jedi Council for a long, long, long time, Yoda. Guy who was literally just messing with Luke on Dagobah, Yoda, right? Like, Yoda's got a sense of humor, right? He's sitting there and he can throw down when he wants to, but most of the time he's like, oh, I'm rich, I'm rockety, and then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I can just like do flips and shit now because I'm just letting you, I appear weak, right? He's also just nothing but good. He also came back as a Force ghost and cast a lightning bolt to burn down the temple, also trolling him, Luke, at that same time. Like, literally...
So you like the wise advice-giving troll.
Yeah, well, he's got the best advice, period. Literally, if they want to throw down, like, a good piece of advice, they just let Yoda say it. He does have a sense of humor, right, which I enjoy out of things in general. Also, I'm going to go with Vader pisses me off every time he slow walks and doesn't make it to someplace. He's like, oh, I should probably really stop. Never mind. I'm walking slow. Like, dude, just hustle a little bit. Just a little bit of hustle, baby.
Also,
he's hurting. He was burning lava.
I will say that in the expanded universe of Star Wars, Vader is way more impressive.
No, but they both are because Yoda's also pretty impressive.
Well, the Clone Wars, Anakin's also like a badass.
And Yoda was already old when Anakin was young.
So Yoda also did a lot of really cool stuff like in the Clone Wars, and he was helpful just like the entire time. He and Chewie hung out. I loved him and Chewie are like buddies, and they don't even get to that in most of the things. Yoda's just been the quintessential like leader of the good side and good advice and all the other good stuff. And the other thing too is Anakin was kind of damn annoying, right? Like, let's be honest. Anakin as a kid was kind of annoying in general. Anakin, when he's falling in love with Padme and making bad decisions left and right, super bad. Get out of here. Just be gone. Yoda didn't see that the darkness was rising and didn't.
I just feel like Yoda could have done more.
Plus, Yoda was also like really good friends with Mace Windu, right? And was straight up saying to Anakin, hey, you can't be a master yet, and stuff like that, because he was right, because Anakin was not ready to be a master. Anyway, Yoda's definitely my pick. Great advice, all that stuff. And he can be a backpack while you run.
Yes, he can be a backpack while you run. All right, we're going to pause it here real quick. All
right. So we have our squads, and they're very interesting picks. We have...
I think Zug can take Amazon in a fight.
I don't know.
Flash beats Flash.
I mean, honestly, the guy from Amazon would probably just have a hit squad ordered on him.
I was joking about that. Like an actual straight fight.
He can just deliver you anything you need.
Yeah.
Deliver you
Jeff
gospel.
There's drones coming down.
Jeff Bezos and his drones.
I just read something that somebody was super mad at him and they went to a board meeting and literally returned an item to him because they were trying to return something to Amazon. Like whatever that was like yesterday. Are we recording again or no?
Yeah, when you guys are ready.
Okay.
We have very similar teams, though. Like, there's only a few differences. Like, yeah, I don't like as far as it goes. I don't think Yoda's done shit. Like, I don't know. I was just not impressed by the supposedly most powerfully, most connected to the Force.
I mean, he's how many years old, dude?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. When
Right?
you're that old, you should have passed a lot more on.
Oh, he passed stuff on.
Okay.
All right, now that we've chosen our players, the next step is to choose 3 players from our team that would be on your team for... I don't necessarily want to say zombie apocalypse, because some of these people would be way too OP. Just an apocalypse, a world, like a universe...
You gotta go battle people.
Yeah,
Your fight squad.
Your survival squad.
Okay.
So we're gonna start off with James's number 3 pick.
Oh, and I gotta pick number 1 before I pick number 2, before I pick number 3. Right, I can't tell you what my number 3 is until I look at it and see this is my number 1.
All right, yeah.
Just pick all 3.
Here, go pick all. Go circle them or go write them by
This is a
your
lot of
thing.
fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Good. I'm glad you're having fun.
I had no idea what we were doing here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I didn't know how this was gonna go.
I have to pick top 3 team.
Yep.
Yeah, your top 3 team.
Okay, I'm just gonna go quick, right?
And here you go, Seth. You can pick while he's picking, so we can save some time. So they're currently at the board picking. I think it's probably going to be the Burger King King.
Jeff Bezos.
Mark Zuckerberg. And, probably a little Squirtle action. You know.
My team.
That's what I think it's going to be.
So you guys can all see from back there.
Yeah.
But I had Batman, Dumbledore, and Yoda.
Okay, so who's your top recruit then? He has Batman, Dumbledore, and Yoda. Who's your top recruit? Who's your number 1?
Probably be Yoda. Just because I'd love to fucking hang out with him and hang out. And
he doesn't take up a lot of room. He can jump on your back.
He's legitimately a Jedi Master that is going to, can also teach me the ways of the Force. So maybe I get to pull up, my own Force abilities. Dumbledore, same thing. If I have any wizardry ability, he could probably teach me that. And then Batman is just Batman. He's going to be way ahead of the game. So Batman makes the plan, and Yoda and me and
So where I disagree with that is you have 3 leaders.
That's
Batman's not a leader per se.
That was my biggest worry when James first started picking. He just kept picking leaders, and I'm like, all these leaders are gonna butt heads.
I picked Batman, Flash, and Captain Marvel.
Sure.
And the reasons why is just the same way reason why James picked Batman is you need a strategist. Mm-hmm. Flash is...
Who's your strategist?
Batman.
And the Flash is your strategist? That's
Burger
weird.
King.
Okay, so what would be the legit? I have to save the world team and the legit. I would want to roll up with this squad team or 2 different.
Okay, we're saving the world team right now. Maybe we'll do the roll up squad team next.
So you need someone fast to basically take care of anything in the less than milliseconds in a few situations.
For sure, Flash.
And then you need a heavy hitter that so there's this little giant monster that's 60 feet tall. Captain Marvel zing zang just fucking takes it down.
Sure.
But you also need someone to be coordinating all of it and you need the plan, which neither of them I feel has the best skills in. That's why you have Batman.
I feel like you went with the team of people for a straight on a straight up fight.
Well, straight up fight or a mission that Flash can basically go into any place, just zing in, out, and you're done. You can't stop it.
I went with a council that will take over, will make everything work well. Right?
Well, essentially this is a Justice League / Avengers team I've got anyway.
That's what you have, yeah.
The reason why I didn't go Vader was just because I also don't trust him to not overthrow these assholes.
Because evil? Right, yeah. Because evil. You don't pick an evil person on your team? Also, why was Keanu Reeves not one of the picks? Because he would be on the team.
He would have... Well, it was a pick between Keanu Reeves and someone else. You just picked Keanu Reeves.
Because I didn't know who to pick
To put Keanu
to go
versus-
against Keanu Reeves. That was my issue.
Will Smith maybe because he's also good.
No, but
No, I would put Keanu
you
Reeves.
instantly would pick Keanu Reeves. Maybe Keanu Reeves versus Jason Momoa,
No.
the new
I
hunk.
don't know. It's messed up.
But going back to you said the Flash can just like zoom in and zoom out and fix the problem.
Yeah.
That's the part that bugged me the most about the CW Arrow is he was friends with the Flash. And it was only when the Flash had time to come help him, but he could have solved every problem Green Arrow needed because he was the Flash.
And,
I was like,
so like if they were essentially
bugged me.
if Flash and Captain Marvel were just working like under Batman, and Batman's scope was to solve all the world's all world's problems, I feel like they could do it.
I would argue the same thing if Batman was strategizing and putting Dumbledore and Yoda around, then they would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So
No. I'm not saying like yours would do.
Yeah.
No, it's the same.
and I feel like
the key here is Batman, actually.
Yeah.
Batman's key.
Well, because
so.
because you basically need the plan, and then you need people to complete the plan.
And I feel like Yoda would be able to give good advice to Batman if his plan just wasn't solid too, and Dumbledore too.
Well, it's a council. I've literally made like an actual council and people who are ass kickers, but also can sit around.
Yeah.
Right. Can sit around and strategize.
Then mine's more of a.
It's more of a hit squad, or a fighting squad.
Well, because they don't have to do fights. Like Captain Marvel could literally move mountains. Like if there was
Sure.
saving, basically pulls a Superman.
Yeah. But Dumbledore could just cast a spell and move that mountain, or put a train that was going.
But they can't be everywhere.
That's true.
But
These guys can almost be everywhere.
Magic goes a long way, so does Force, is all I'm saying. I guess that's also the thing. I went more magic and Force, and you went straight up abilities, right? Like super speed and...
Rulers.
Yeah.
That's
all right. Now they're gonna pick the top 3 team that they would want to roll up with to look cool at the club.
All right.
Oh, to the club?
Yeah, we're showing up to the club.
You're rolling up with the club with who?
Schwarzenegger's definitely coming up to the club, man.
We're gonna do.
So they're picking their club squad right now that they want to roll up with.
Schwarzenegger.
I'm gonna be blowing up tanks with Schwarzenegger.
We're gonna ride up with a tank. You're only specifically Squirtle Squad.
No, Squirtle. How could you not have a Squirtle on your shoulder with a?
Okay. I'm just saying Gandalf knew how to party.
You make your decision on that line.
That sounds hard though.
I'm about to.
Yeah, I'd want to bring all of them to the club.
I know.
So
right?
you only can bring 3
that
though.
would be super fun at the club too.
You know who wouldn't be fun in the club? Zuckerberg.
Although
Jeff Bezos is in the clubs right now with his new bay.
if it was real life, either one of those would be super fun.
I know. I always want to have Flash also at the club because he's just fucking funny.
But he can't. He has no tolerance. He can't even drink at the club. He was just this isn't fun. I can't drink.
I know you picked the king.
Who? That would be the hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
The king would be creepy as shit, man.
The king would be awesome in the VIP
He would be
section,
awesome,
just
but
creeping
also
on
he'd be
people.
You pick these guys are being trolls, okay? Let me be.
He's a troll.
The king would bring that hangover food.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Gandalf because wizards know how to party.
Gandalf does know how to party. Dumbledore also would be super fun.
Okay, so Seth, who were your choices while James is still finishing off?
I'm gonna go with Arnold Schwarzenegger
In the club.
in the club.
Yeah.
The Sneak King.
Because the bouncer can't not let you in if you have
Also,
Arnold with you. He's bigger than the bouncer.
they can't stop the Sneak King because he's the Sneak King. And then I'd go with Gandalf because, did anyone watch the first Lord of the Rings?
Gandalf in the club is he wasn't on my team or else I'd pick him because
Gandalf would be So I really wanted to pick Squirtle in this lineup because I want Pokemon to be real.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I would love to have my own Pokemon with me
So
at the club.
honestly, if it wasn't for the other, if it wasn't if I had 4, it'd be immediately Squirtle.
I picked
All right, who'd James pick?
Arnie because would be amazing to hang out with.
Yeah.
Real life up in the club.
Yeah.
Arnold. It doesn't matter what age, right now or earlier. the time.
No one's gonna mess with you either.
Also, well, not even that. Just like blowing up tanks and just giving good advice and being
how
on.
many awesome stories would he be just be able to tell?
And then Squirtle, because Squirtle Squad, like literally, we would probably all have the Squirtle Squad shades on. Like Arnold would have them on, I'd have them on, and Yoda would have them on too. And basically, probably. Like Squirtle would be on Arnold and Yoda would be on me or somebody like that. We'd be rolling like that, and Yoda would be super fun in a club too, because he'd either be confused or just literally trolling people.
All right.
He's force grab drinks and shit. It'd be fun.
All right, so this is the last team. So James currently runs Wulfgar Weapons, and that's what we're doing this thing on. So if James. Pick the 3 team members that you would pick to work for you at Wulfgar Weapons.
Flash,
and Seth, who you would want on our team too at Wulfgar Weapons.
Okay.
Who you would pick from your team.
Flash is number 1.
And the reason.
All right, so how do we just put a star next to him?
On the square.
Whatever you want to do.
Actually, I mean, I would probably should go have Batman also in this one.
So
I mean, when you work with a billionaire, you're
your budget
you
goes
have way
quite
more
up.
opportunities.
Well, don't forget Amazon's on.
I don't want to be taken over and sold out, man.
That's true.
And he can work late hours in the dark.
Well, also Batman will probably figure out, he's an inventor. He also will know how to make things better.
But also you want to get people that can create things as well. They may be
inspiring and smart.
You think the Flash?
I got my workshop team.
I guess the Flash is like a science. Well, no.
Yeah. No, Flash was a forensics expert.
Forensics expert, so he might be good at being kind of creative. But
he also does a lot of science.
I feel like it would be hard to keep. It would be extremely hard to lay out a plan for the Flash unless you had someone managing a giant list of.
Legitimately, everybody else. I picked the other 2 people would just hang out because the Flash would literally get everything done.
Yeah, but you'd do a lot of work of assigning him things because he'd get it done so fast.
Sure, that's fine. Also, I picked Dumbledore because Dumbledore would just be like magic and kapoof. Well, you want to change color of that thing? He would literally
So James's choices were. You go over them again because I know we're all just talking over each other.
For this one, were Flash. First and foremost, because he's super fast and and a good person and would totally just rock the shop. Dumbledore, because he's got magic, good leadership skills, definitely could be a manager of the whole thing, and also could do teleportation and writing other things and change things around and use magic to do things. And then Zelda, because Zelda would be fun to hang out with, has magic and could do all this stuff. Also good leadership because she's a princess and she'd be a good face of the Zelda weapons and props, hell yeah.
She can bring in the female.
No, she's just good in general. Also Zelda
make
wasn't
things
on my
prettier.
list yet. I like Zelda a lot. Anyway.
All right.
So those are my 3. So 2 magic users and a fast person.
So why I picked my 3? I picked
Who are you
3? Flash and Batman. And it kind of goes back to having a plan and being able to execute it, but it also comes down to having good work ethic and also being pleasant to be around as far as nice people that you would want to be able to spend every day around.
Right.
And honestly, I also don't want to I didn't want to pick Gandalf or
why don't you
Marvel or anything.
Why don't you pick Jeff Bezos? You could just sell everything on Amazon.
I said,
Makes so much money.
Be taken over, sold out, and fired in a week.
He was part of your team, though.
Company doesn't include a billionaire that has...
I mean, it does include a billionaire, but it also includes a billionaire that's not notorious.
You know how to ship everything real well.
I mean, why do you think
you'd already have a shipping system?
I have Flash, so I have same hour shipping.
Oh, so you're gonna make Flash do all the work he doesn't want to do. He's gonna have a bad attitude after a while. He's gonna have to run around the world delivering packages.
You can send them hours.
No. Think about it like this: if you have one extremely good talent, you want to be able to use your talent.
Sure.
What sounds like it's a horrible idea to literally put Flash in a warehouse and be like, okay, cool, this is your job. You just have to stay inside this one building or this group of buildings
Yeah.
for 8 hours a day.
But also, if it's the Flash, are you thinking he's gonna want to just make your props for you and do us? He's gonna have a bad attitude after a while. He doesn't want to he wants to use his talent, but not to make things for you.
Right, but also Barry Allen's a pretty awesome guy.
I mean,
we both had him. So Barry Allen would be good at talking to people.
He'd also be nice to work around and with.
Yeah, I would hang out with him too.
Like also like
the governor would be good at talking to people and promoting your company too.
That's also the reason why I picked him is because he has great work ethic, good like inspiring, good leadership, like good like working with teams since he's proven he used to do that. So he can work well with people and has like I'm never going to like he's always going to want to improve everything. He's also going to like help everyone improve themselves too. Like he's going to be an inspiring part of the team.
That's why I picked Dumbledore too, because same thing.
And then Batman, he's an extremely intelligent. He's also like he's going to get the job done. Also, he's like all he does is literally make plans for the team.
Yeah,
we're going to work.
He's a strategist again.
So how do you guys lead a team full of leaders though? That's my thing. How are you going to motivate these guys to work for your company?
Flash isn't a leader.
I don't have to be a leader when I have leaders.
I'm sorry.
Like this is a team to work with, not necessarily for.
How would you motivate this team? Is what I'm asking. Not a team full of leaders. How would you motivate this team?
For sure. Okay, so one, can you imagine just seriously hanging around drinking with Dumbledore, Barry Allen, and Zelda? Okay, we're gonna get along. They're all very pleasant people to hang out with. It's kind of what he was saying, right? Like. Zelda's
you basically put a team that like pushes each other positively forward, and it's just a thing that will start.
Zelda and Dumbledore are going to get along in like magic using, right? They're going to be like, oh hey, have you thought about like making a teleport system over here for the new users and that sort of thing, whatever.
And you're sitting here like,
Flash can cover down on wherever we need, right? And I'd have him doing lots of different things, pretty much whatever he wanted, so he didn't get bored.
So Dumbledore would be intern management.
So Dumbledore would basically just be, I mean, he's used to running a school, so that's not that much different than a shop, right? So he'd be able to use magic and do whatever. He'd also is used to leading people and like
he'd manage the team
and finding people's strengths, like Hagrid and all the other wizards. So he's definitely like the shop manager, leader, like guy that's making it work.
Also, one reason why I picked Batman is even if he can't do something himself, he knows someone or something or some way to get it done. Also.
Sure. And Batman, it was for me, it was Flash, Dumbledore, and it was between Batman or Zelda. And I figured I'd go with Zelda because one, she's a princess and used to leading her thing. She's also got magic, and quite honestly, she does. She's pretty cool.
No, Zuck. He could do so much promoting for you, James.
I thought about that too. But that's what Dumbledore does. He just sends out owls and like dropping letters in everybody's.
My base mine entirely upon work ethic, positive attitude, and improvement.
I would agree. Positive attitude was a big thing for me too. I feel like I know you have Batman on there, but I think Batman's not always the easiest to work with.
If Batman's entire goal of like all he did was to make a shop, like a company run, like that was just it, okay?
Oh,
that's
for
all
sure.
He'd make it fucking perfect.
But if you were like, hey Batman, we gotta sit down and hey Bruce Wayne, we gotta sit down and make this work, and I'm trying to like influence you as well. I feel like Batman, if he was to decide that you wanted to get away,
we're pulling together these people that would not be working together in any normal situation, all towards a goal that they all believed in.
Yeah. No, if they're all on the same team, Batman's a great choice for sure.
Also, Batman gets to do exactly what he's great at. He makes a bunch of plans for people to follow through with. He doesn't have to be there all the time.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need to be there all the time to make the plans that for all.
He's got to go back to Gotham and pay attention to Gotham like all the time.
Also, this is just 8 hours that we work at. Like they can literally fuck off and do everything else that they need to do outside of this.
Sure.
Man, get 8 hours of work on a Flash. That's a lot of work.
I know. That's why
Dumbledore.
You mean Flash probably works 1 hour a day.
That's all you need. That's also why I had Batman, because he's the only one that will be able to keep up with managing a Flash amount of work.
I'm just saying, Dumbledore's got that time amulet. Done.
All right. So, as far as this little experiment or this thing we just did, choose your team. I think it was pretty great. So everyone that was listening, or even everyone that watches this, feel free to get a piece of paper or whatever and write down your team and discuss with you or your friends too what team, what you or your friends would have as your team and your squad rolling out team. If you ran a business team and if you're trying to save the world, you can play at home, right? There you go.
Hashtag squad, your business team, and you save the world. Oh shit.
Yeah. So thanks, James.
Yeah.
Thanks, Seth. This
Thanks
was a
for
lot of
having us,
fun,
buddy.
and
This was really fun.
we are going to sign off. So thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
No, that was actually